It's actually slippery over there.
Ooh. Hello.
Thank you everyone for joining us.
Welcome to
Shine Central Coast today with Ricky.
Hello.
Yes.
All about so many markets on the Central Coast. I'm so excited. How do we start? What's the first question we ask you? So hang on, let me start with, you are, so it's Umbala events behind, above everything. And then you have a life festival, Humana Beach Markets, and the latest edition is the handmade on the Central Coast.
Yes.
So what does Umbala mean?
Exactly.
Well, Umbala is an African word, a Zulu word. It means colour, and that's why I chose that word for my business, because I want my business to be full of colour and bring colour and light, and just to be exciting. So Umbala means colour, and that's why I chose it. And it just encompasses all the events that I do with Humana Beach Markets, handmade on the coast, and alive markets.
Tell us a little bit, because I posted it in the event already, and I loved the first time I read why you started it. What's the vision behind? Like,
why I started. It's a long story, I guess, or short, I don't know. It depends how you want to do it. In a nutshell, I always wanted my own business. I've always wanted to do something for myself and bring something to light. I didn't know what that was at the beginning. I was like, well, what am I going to do? And my mother came over from South Africa on holiday, and she brought me a gift. It was a beaded giraffe, about that size. And I just thought that was amazing, and there's nothing like it in Australia. So that's what I started doing. I started bringing that in, and it was actually called Umbala. Because it's colourful, it's bright. And I was going around markets in Sydney and selling that product, and one day I was walking in this area, specifically over here, and I just thought this would be an amazing area for a market. I'm like, it's got everything. It's got the beach, it's got a wonderful cafe, it's got an awesome playground.
some facilities, everything.
I just thought it was awesome. And what happened is I just contacted the council and saying, okay, what do I do? They sent me a whole list of things I had to do. I was overwhelmed at first.
I've heard.
And then I was like, no, it's okay. One step at a time. I can do it.
That's how things start.
Exactly. And that's what happened. I just went one step at a time. And I had no idea how it would turn out.
So you've never done markets before?
No.
Oh, wow.
This was the first time I've ever done it. And I'm so glad I did do it because it's taught me so much. It's taught me how to deal with people. It's taught me so much about the community, about how people make products, what their creative input is into products. And I never expected this event, Humana Beach Markets especially, to be so buzzy.
It's such a
It's
vibe,
beautiful.
yeah.
How many stalls do you usually have?
Started off at 65.
It started off with 65.
65, yeah.
That's a good start.
There must have been a name for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
I
just created that space.
Yeah, 65, and now we've got 90 stalls in total. I think that's the limit for this area. I don't think I can go any bigger than that. It's quite limited, but 90 is fine.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's perfect. And the dynamics changed a lot since the beginning. The food stalls got better. I've laid out the areas a lot better. We have the drumming circle, which is awesome, and it brings the whole community together. I love that.
And it's really cool, by the way, for everybody who's watching. We are literally on the land of Humana Beach Market.
Yes.
So this is one part, over there is another, and then there usually it's kind of another area.
So Humana Beach Market's like in two parts. We've got this whole part that we're sitting on right now. And then we have another one on the other side of the road, and that's where the main stage is, the food stalls, and more products. So it's probably one of the only markets that's really divided like that. And I was a bit concerned by that at the beginning, but now I actually think no, it's actually it's good.
Amazing.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's created a very unique vibe.
You know Sarah Tommy, who we interviewed last time. She was one of the instigators that created the space from nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so from
yes.
Sarah,
Yes, when they created the Peninsula Recreational Precinct. Yes. That was
that was
whole,
the one. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I heard about
with a
that,
playground and everything.
Yes, that was a community.
Again, it's connecting.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, at the moment, I've started a new market, handmade on the coast.
Yeah.
At the moment it's on a Saturday, but we think about moving it to a Sunday. I think it will be better suited for families to come to the events.
And where's that?
In front of Way Wharf. Yeah, so Way Wharf, there's a little park in front of it. There used to be a market there many years ago. So it's in that same area. And it's dedicated to only businesses that are on the Central Coast only. So they have to be from the Central Coast, and they have to have some sort of creative input into their product. So either they make it themselves, design it, cook it, prepare it, anything, whatever it is, as long as they've got a creative input into the product, they're welcome.
I love the one lady who was selling like Humana Beach handbags and everything,
cool.
like really like touristy merchandise stuff for our area, but she's doing that in such a beautiful way.
Little tote bags, the Woi Woi, Humana, Edalong.
Exactly.
There's not many touristy things you can get.
Yeah, not
No,
really,
but
that's
really cool
Have a
stuff
nice-
as well,
It's
like
something
jewelry.
Yeah, and it's just great to see what people are creating and what they're making. And I'd like to see more of that happening.
And it's when you put that event out, it was just like, this is so cool after reading like your stories, like all about having stuff that's handmade. And that's like
I started with the handmade.
Exactly.
Even though I wasn't making it myself.
It's like full
but
circle. And the other thing what just fascinated me was that you said you always wanted to have your own business, and now you're actually helping other businesses. By having your own business, you're helping other businesses to create a space where they can sell them instead of just online. You know, you can actually meet the people behind that brand. You can meet the chef who is cooking the food. And
people love to do that to make
that was an aspect that I never really expected. I never really thought of until it started happening. I'm like, okay, it's a nice feeling. But yes.
So it goes with your Alive festival. It's alive, you know, beings, we're all alive, we're together in a community, face to face, sharing.
I know, and Alive for me, so I became vegan 3 years ago now. And as soon as I became vegan, the markets had already started. Humana Beach markets.
When did you start them?
Humana Beach market started, I believe it was November 2015. I hope I have the year right. I might be wrong with that. I'm pretty sure, okay.
And
So
then
I
a
became
year
vegan
later.
in 2016, that's right. So then when I became vegan, I decided, you know, it would be really awesome to have a festival dedicated just to that lifestyle. And the difference that I wanted in creating the Alive Festival is to bring the vegan name into a positive light. Because unfortunately there is a negative connotation towards it. And it isn't anything negative. It's meant to be a beautiful and positive way of life. And what that festival does is allows people to get enticed by what the vegan product is, by the deliciousness of the food and how amazing it is, by all the different products. Because people sometimes forget, veganism is just food, but it's not. It's a whole range of products. It's beauty products, it's fashion, it's what you eat, it's everything. Everything can be made vegan. And to emphasize this festival in such a positive way, where people are talking about the positives and focusing on the beauty of it, I think it really encourages the general community.
And awareness around it.
Exactly. Yes. And in turn, because I'd become vegan, I thought, okay, I've created this space. This is another good opportunity because Humana Beach Markets is not a vegan event. But I like to have a lot of options. So I believe we have one of the best vegan options on the Central Coast in regards to markets. And I'm really happy with that, and I'm hoping that I can grow on that and that more stalls approach me that are plant-based, because that would be great.
And most stalls here also have plant-based options.
Yes,
so
most of them.
Yeah,
yes.
exactly, and it's I feel like it's
a great
growing.
place for everyone.
Basically, everyone that now approaches me has to have a good plant-based option.
Do you get to taste it?
A good No, I don't. But I just read what they have to say, and if it's up to standard, and I think this would be good, I'm like, yes, you're welcome to come. But they really need to put some thought into it, because it's not just tofu.
And it's inclusive, exactly. It's inclusive, and it's, as you said, it's enticing. It's like, wow, this sounds amazing. Like the paella, and then you have pachamama, the vegan, which name I forgot, with their smoothies and their little cakes.
Yeah, so we've got the flying vegan, we have pachamama, we have blended reality to do the smoothies. they all are 100% vegan, you know. So that's awesome.
That's really helping the community. I think there's so much variation and creativity now around being vegan. It's not that boring. When I went vegan a long time ago, there was nothing, there was no restaurants, no beautiful recipes. Now it's just
and now you're seeing it everywhere. You go to Coles and Woolworths and they're just having so many different options that are just coming up, and it's awesome. And I'm just hoping that this will encourage more people.
I think it does, because you're getting it down on
the goal that I want to see with the general community and how they do product placement. At the moment, when you go out to shops, they always label things gluten-free. Like, they're loving gluten-free on everything. Even if it's something that's obviously gluten-free, they'll have to say it. I want that with vegans.
That banana is gluten-free.
Exactly.
And it happened to be vegan. Really? No!
But that's what I want. I want it to have that word, or even plant-based, whatever it is. I mean, it doesn't have to be the word vegan, whatever.
It's real food.
Just advertise it so it makes it easy for us.
Food.
You know?
I have a banana dipped in beautiful vegan chocolate.
Exactly.
You know, it's so easy.
And it's beautiful that it's like inclusive, what you said before as well, because and I'm always pointing over there because that's where the food stalls are. But it really is my corner. It's my Sunday, every third Sunday morning breakfast spot. So you can bring everybody. You can, even if I'm eating plant-based and my friends aren't, we can sit together, and that's what I like. So they see my food, I see their food, and we can sit together. And they exactly.
And the Flying Vegan, those guys are pretty good at how they entice people, basically people that eat meat, to try their food. They hear everyone saying, "Oh no, I don't want to try that. It's vegan, no ways." And they're like, just give it a go, have a taste. They taste it and they go, wow, that is amazing. If you go look on their social media, I believe there's a few stories there of experiences that have happened like this. And just give it a chance. Just try it. There's nothing wrong with it.
So when you don't organize your markets, what is your other life look like? What are you doing?
Yeah, so
It's not yet a full-time job.
I'm juggling everything at the moment. So I have a family, I have business, and I also work full-time. So I do work Monday to Friday. But my passion is my dance and library, and going forward with this business.
Yeah, and what are the skills that you learned or that you're using in your normal job, in your day-to-day job, for your events? Because I mean, there are so many people also listening who are thinking about, I would love to do something. I would love to run my own business. I would love to do something, but I don't have the skills to do that, or I don't have the time to do that. And I mean, that's exactly the balance that you're holding.
Fair enough. So I'm a receptionist. That's what my full-time job is. I'm a receptionist, and
it's perfect for the work you do.
So that job basically taught me organizing.
Yeah, exactly. That's like spot on, perfect.
So, man, I started off with customer service. So I started off working as a sales assistant for Villeray & Bach back in London, and then I moved to Dubai. I lived in Dubai 5 years. I was a flight attendant, so customer service again, and then I worked for a hotel in Sydney for a few years, and now with the reception job. And every single part of it has helped me to grow into what I'm doing now. Yeah. Because when I was a young adult and a teenager, I didn't realize that I had the potential to do what I'm doing now. I didn't know that I was.
I love that. Yeah.
I didn't think that I was capable of. I had very low self-esteem, especially as a teenager. And going into.
So what I love is that you actually did it.
Yes.
And that you look back. Wow. Yeah.
School life wasn't very good. I wasn't very good at school. Maybe for 2 years of my life, I was good at school. And I just made an effort. I'm like, wow, I'm actually good. I can actually do this. And then going into the workforce, because I was in the customer service industry, I wasn't challenging myself in regards to paperwork and computers. I was more focused on one-on-one interaction with people. So I didn't know if I was capable of doing much else than that. So then when I got my new job as reception, it really challenged me, because I was like, oh, how do I do this? How do I take all of this information and processes? And after 2 years, I was like, wow, I can actually do this. And one day I realized, you know what? If I'm able to do all of this for someone else, why not do this for myself? And that's how it sparked
That's when you
the
thought you
energy,
wanted
to go towards
And believe in yourself.
and believe in myself. And I'm excited for the future right now.
You got it so far.
I'm excited to see where it will go. My ultimate goal is to be self-employed. That is what I want to be. It's my dream. It's been my dream for the last few years, and I can see it happening.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can see it.
Please. I can see that.
You've got that visualization there.
Yeah, so
And it's creating value. What's the Central Coast mean to you exactly? I was just like, it's creating value for the Central Coast. Where did you grow up?
This is interesting. I grew up in. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, did you ask me where did I grow up?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, I was born and raised in South Africa, so I grew up in Johannesburg.
Yeah.
I left Johannesburg when I was 19 and then moved to London.
Quite a different world you're living in now.
Very different. Yeah, I've lived in like
How,
Johannesburg, London, Dubai, Australia. Very,
wow.
It's
Yeah.
very varied. You know.
Yes, my accent's kind of. I mean, if I'm back in South Africa, there's going to be 5 minutes.
How old were you when you left Johannesburg?
19.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was your life like back then? 'Cause you would have remembered quite a bit of it at 19.
Yeah, no, I love South
there?
Africa. Johannesburg. Growing up in South Africa was awesome. I grew up in a small town first, as I was 10, called Hammanskraal. It's north of Pretoria, a very small town. And what was interesting about living there, and especially my age group, is that I experienced South Africa before, during apartheid and after apartheid.
Yeah.
So I was able to see the dynamic change. So I started school being in a segregated school and seeing segregation. And then I saw Nelson Mandela become president. And
Wow.
moving to Johannesburg. Yeah, in that year I was actually in Portugal. My family did leave for 1 year and then we came back.
That's maybe even more significant.
Yeah.
Because you really saw the
I
change.
saw the change.
Like,
yeah. So for 1994
happened.
we left to Portugal, stayed there for a year and then came back. So when I came back we moved to Johannesburg and now schools were integrated and people were now mingling and it was yeah. It is. It was very. I mean, of course, it comes with its problems because, and the problems is, you've had people living under restrictions for years and years and years, and the process of change was so sudden that there wasn't enough time to slowly educate people, and it's natural. That's the way it is. But I'm excited for the future of South Africa, and I think that it's going to get better. Especially with the youth now. I was there 3 years ago, and seeing the integration of the youth together, like from all different races, is really inspiring. And Johannesburg used to be a very dangerous place. There was a few years where no one would actually go into the centre of town. And the last time I went to Johannesburg a few years ago, things are changing. And they inspired me to do more things here with the way they are organising.
Yeah.
There's a lot of abandoned buildings that they've taken over.
Yeah.
And with these buildings, they've used the space for artists to use. They've used it for night markets, food. They use the rooftop and have bands playing and music.
Bringing life back into
It's amazing. The atmosphere that I felt there was so good. And I would love to do that same thing in regards to creating a space in this abandoned building in Gosford. Because we have a relation. It's very similar. Gosford has these empty buildings. We could do the same thing.
I know, yeah.
I just see your eyes sparkle with this,
Look
this
at
fire of change, transformation. It's just like this vision and knowing. I mean, you have witnessed another city, country, like really going through that change. And I mean, most of our interviews we have, it's just like there is so much transformation, and people have, like on the Central Coast, there are so many people with these deep visions, and they're actually taking action to get there. And where you coming from, and you have witnessed it. It's just like it's possible. It's not just an idea.
And seeing it from
it's just like I've seen
Johannesburg,
it.
a place where people were so scared to go into the city.
Yeah.
So scared to go into the city. So dangerous and so so many rumors around that city, and it changing so suddenly, and things getting better, building luxury apartments, getting old shipping containers and putting them in there and turning them into luxury apartments, and building these markets and getting artists to get involved.
Artists in there, like visionaries.
Yes.
Artists visionaries. It exactly were, they're the birds.
And honestly, when I was there witnessing this, I was like, I couldn't help but think of Gosford.
Wow.
I know Gosford's not dangerous. It's not dangerous at all.
No.
But how beautiful.
but it's
Imagine what that potential has.
Yeah.
But it's the yeah, exactly.
I mean,
it's
we don't even have to start there. We start here, and Johannesburg brought it from here to there. And if we start here, man,
exactly. Like we're way ahead.
that's it.
Way
That's
ahead.
it.
And so many people are talking about that there needs to be something for Boston.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
think people don't know where to start or what to do.
Yeah.
I love that vision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll keep watching you.
Well, hopefully anyone wants to connect with
Exactly.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's actually another thing that I'm going to create. I'm only in the initial stages. This has only come to me a couple of weeks ago. A fresh idea which is going to happen. And what we're going to do, what I'm going to start is an event on the Central Coast. It's going to be a mystic market. I don't know if that's going to be the name. Could be the name, might not be. I don't know.
Maybe
So-
you change the name over time. Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah. So the vision for this at the moment is an event on the Central Coast, like a market like this, that is open to like-minded people that are open to more mystic side of life. The Central Coast has a lot of people out there in the community, and there's a lot of people hungry for those types of events. And with this event, what I would like to see with this event is to go back to Mother Earth and to go back to the way things were before people were encouraged by politics, before they're encouraged by money, technology, all of that. Go back to go back to herbalists, go back to other alternative methods to medicine, go back to spiritual healers, go back to spiritual readers, go back to what it used to be way back when. The community over here is really strong with that, and I feel that this event would be really good. I'm not going to take full credit for this event. If Oscar is listening, thank you so much. You're awesome. This is all because of Oscar. He owns I'm sorry if I don't know the name properly, but it's the Healing Centre at Gosford.
We need to get it happening.
Yes, he would be awesome. The Healing Centre in Gosford. Yeah. So full credit to him for this. I really appreciate what he's told me. So.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, I just come from the Park Life Cafe. That's where I was just at another meeting, and they just have a storytelling session right now for kids.
Okay.
So it was just like, this is like, yes, this
Connecting,
community
yes.
is longing for it, and we made so many people, and there's just so much connection, and this land is so powerful, so special, and we've been all called here to create more special mystic stuff. And I mean, mystic, it's just like going back to the roots.
Yes, going back to roots.
Honestly,
going back to roots.
that's all it is.
Going back to Mother Earth.
Exactly, it's just
And-
reconnecting.
So this is the beginning phase. I'm working on it. I'm trying to envision it.
Yeah, please let's talk more.
So exactly, yeah.
I'd love to have some dreaming in there.
So at the moment, I'm happy for anyone to contact me about that and put you on the little contact list and see what happens. So I don't know where it's going to be, how it's going to be, when it's going to be. I just know it's going to be.
We'll have to put our contact details up after this.
Yeah, that's
so
fine.
people-
Exactly, because I know, like, I just was talking to James and Lara, who Jake mentioned last time, and I feel like they would be good people to get in touch with as well. So yeah, so if there's anybody,
So how
Get
did you
in touch.
get here to Central Coast?
Um,
All that journey to here.
So my husband is from Sydney. Actually, he's from Wollongong.
Oh, well done. I grew up
Yeah.
in
From Wingdang. So we both lived in Dubai. We met in Dubai, and that's how I got to Australia. So we lived in Sydney for a few years, And then we had a son, and we came to the Central Coast. And I'm so happy I did that because I didn't realize how awesome it was until I got there. It's such an awesome place. When I go back to Sydney, I start to feel.
Someone is
I need to go back. I need to go back.
Give me some earth.
I love Sydney, but
Yeah.
it can be a bit much sometimes. I like that it's not so busy here, and that people are actually quite friendly and nice. And you don't realize how friendly they are until you leave. It really is. When you leave, you realize it. And actually going back to something I was going to say before, I was going to do events outside of the Central Coast, but then I meditated one day, and the big theme on that meditation was don't leave the Central Coast. Don't go.
Similar, yeah.
And I couldn't. I was like, I can't actually do anything outside of the Central Coast. I have to do something over here.
Yeah.
You know why?
Exactly.
Yeah. Like I have had opportunities and that I have had to decline for outside of the coast,
Yeah.
but I now realise that it wasn't right for me to do that, to go outside of here. I feel like it's really needed here.
Yeah. Like that. What's the biggest thing? So one thing that I really love was that you said when you were little, you would have never been able to imagine what you're doing right now. What's the biggest surprise for you?
I suppose from that growth, when you're saying back, you felt very secure as a child.
Yeah.
Most of us too, we go through what
I
is
wasn't
that
good
first,
at-
how we don't get to
I was very slow at reading, so I didn't know how to. I made a lot of spelling mistakes. I still do. Not very good at reading, writing. Maths is good. So I was never good at reading, writing, maths. Like I didn't really have, you know, I was generally not good at school.
Yeah.
There was only a phase where I was about 13, 14, where I moved to Portugal again for the second time for a year.
Yeah.
And I had to learn, I speak Portuguese, but I had to learn and read and write Portuguese within a couple of months. And I managed to do that. And I was like,
Wow.
how is it that I'm able to do this? And I started getting...
Struggle with your mother tongue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I started to get really good marks in Portugal. And I went back to South Africa and I said, man, if I can do that here, so that was the first trigger of realizing that I had the potential. It was putting myself in a situation that I never thought I would be able to do. My reading and writing in English was terrible, and then I went to Portugal and learned how to read and write in a month.
Pretty
I mean, I could
Wow.
speak it, so that's the advantage. But Portuguese is a very easy language to read and write because they write things the way it sounds. English doesn't do that. And after learning that, I actually said, oh, English makes more sense to me. But the biggest thing is that I'm able to do things independently and that I am able to have my own business. I didn't think that was ever a possibility. So I guess that is the biggest.
And I feel like a massive strength that got you there is just jumping in cold water, or first of all being thrown into cold water, because I guess the second time was not really like, Mommy, Daddy, let's just move back to Portugal. It was like, we're moving back to Portugal, so now deal with that.
Yeah.
With all the dear support, but it's like you've been thrown into that cold water and you realize, I'm safe. Like going back to Paulie's analogy where he said like being at that edge where you are in the waves and you still feel the ground under your feet, but always push yourself a little bit over, and then you know you can come back, and you're always at this edge. Like you throw yourself with a new market, you don't know what it's going to be. You have this
Basically,
vision.
take the risk.
Trust in
Take
it
the
too,
risk.
yeah.
Exactly. And what's the worst thing that can happen with the market? You run it twice, it doesn't work. And
Yeah, no, and at the
Sorry,
moment,
it's not the right
Handmade
time.
on the Coast is it's not as busy as I'd like it to be. I'd really like more people to go there.
Yeah.
So we're really considering changing it to a Sunday. But if we do that, it'll just start in June. So I have to go through council first. But you know, you just make these little changes and hope that it will work. And Handmade on the Coast, I believe, will work. And something tells me that winter is going to be amazing there. I just feel like it's going to be a really good winter.
It's good how you go with that instinct.
I always go with
intuition.
instinct.
Yeah, you just know that
always.
it's right.
Yeah.
And I got that answer from you before, like, hey, what about this idea? I have to meditate on that, Chris. Okay, cool. I love that. It's just like, I really love that. It's like Jedi. I have to meditate on that. Let me get back to you.
Answering now.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, I don't get an instant, like, no, cool.
And the thing is,
And so integrity.
If I
what
feel
like
that
about
I should not do something,
Yeah.
I don't have to have a reason. I go
That's it.
purely by feeling. And
Wow.
and I just say, and sometimes it comes abrupt. Sometimes people think that I'm a bit abrupt with the way I do things because I will say, I'm not going to do it because I clearly just don't want to do it.
Kind of confronting for some people.
Yeah,
I can see that.
it is. But I'm all about honesty.
Yeah, and integrity. It's like
I
Authenticity.
I can tell when people are being honest, and honesty is key. You've got nothing to lose by being honest.
So you feel, do you
Yeah.
think you can put your sanity? Do you feel that?
Yeah, I mean not all the time. I'm trying my best, but yeah, I can. I think I've got a very good sense of intuition.
So what do you think drives you? What's your driving force, or is it the purpose? What is your dream, your goal, your vision for, say, 5 years' time? What do you see yourself?
I'm going to say it's more of a selfish thing. That it's just that I want to do things for myself, on my own, and it's all up to me. That's why I want to be self-employed, because it's my dream. It's my upbringing. I want to put all my heart and soul into what I'm doing, and that's my goal in life, is to live. I feel like if I'm self-employed, I am free, and I want to feel free.
And then you can provide to others.
I just wanted to say it's so funny because you said it's so it's selfish. It's just about me being free. But the funny thing is, by being selfish and just being free, you are creating these incredible spaces for other businesses to be free as well, to allow them to shine. You are creating for the community, like the vision.
But that is my motivation, is to have this. I have this dream of what I want my life to be on a day-to-day basis, is to be able to do what I want when I want.
What would you like to have more of in your life?
Free time.
To do what?
Yoga. I've been neglecting yoga for a while. I find it very hard to have the time because I've got so many things happening that when you work 9 to 5, it's really hard to plus family, plus business, plus this. It's really hard. But I would, in an ideal world, run my business. I do have a goal as well of owning a shop of some sort. That's way down the track. I don't know what it will be or how it will be, but it's something that I would like to do, and I'd like to have that space. And just to free flow into that space whenever I want to, and wake up in the morning, have a smoothie, go to the beach, go for have time to live life more.
The cool thing is, so that's the freedom. By being selfishly self-employed, you need to employ others that work with you, so you actually create a place where others can work in a meaningful way. Because
and
the project you're doing are about connecting, are about creating, which
and
is
then having all these people that you work with, that you feel connected to, and that are all in the same boat, if you will, or have the same vision. And to work with that on a daily basis would be great. And there's so many people doing that at the moment. There's so many people doing it on the Central Coast. I admire the girls from Umala Beach Yoga. Helen and Carolyn. I feel like they're the epitome of that. They're awesome. Sorry, I'm
an amazing team.
So sorry.
Now this is your door. They'll be like, Ricky, come on over.
They're awesome.
So what's your favourite place here? So in that free time, or if you have some free
bushwalks are best. It's really nice to walk from Umala Beach all the way to
Pearl, around the rocks.
And then even from Pearl to Patonga. I've never actually gone the whole way yet from Pearl to Patonga. I do want to do that one day. But bushwalks around the Central Coast are the best. Surrounded, and also Putty Beach, just over the water there. That's amazing. The waterways, kayaking in the waters.
Stunning. That's beautiful. Was there anything in particular that you had to unlearn along the journey, or that you're really proud of, that you unlearned that one? Unlearn,
Okay, can you elaborate?
Yes, of course. For example, one thing that you said at the beginning when you were little, that you didn't believe in yourself. So just you had to realize that the power that you have within you. But maybe there are other traits that you had back then actually not cool. That's so much cooler the other way. But I've learned this all my life. For example, working hard. That was one thing for me. I always thought, in my past life, I worked as a management consultant. Once you open your laptop, that's when you work. You can't work without having a laptop in front of you. You might run a workshop, but you plan everything on your laptop. And I really had to learn that you can work without having a laptop in front of you. So that's one thing that I had to unlearn. Was there anything significant for you? Where like, okay, I had to give that up.
Yeah.
And realize that that was an illusion.
Yeah.
That was what success is meant to be. It's actually.
Well, that's a good point of the success part of it. Success doesn't mean having the biggest house, having the best cars, what you wear, all that. For me, success is just having the life that you want. You know, I feel like that I'm pretty successful at the moment, and I feel like my goal of being self-employed, that will make me even feel more fulfilled. Because my dream of success isn't exactly living in a mansion. Not at all. It's about.
Would you say success is being happy?
Being happy, having the right people, knowing who to trust, who to love, the right friends. Other aspects that I may have learned that I've learned rather is how you deal with difficult situations when it comes to business. Each time I'm learning more and more and more. But I'm learning the balance of being truthful and providing the information that's necessary. Because sometimes if you're over-truthful and say too much information, people don't take it through.
Interesting.
And I'm learning that, you know, I don't need to give all of you.
We don't have to be reasonable.
No, I don't have to give all of me to you, especially if the situation isn't working out. I just need to say, okay, things aren't working out. This is what's happening. Let's move forward. And that's a challenge that I keep on facing. But
it's really about what serves this situation.
Exactly.
It's not about I have to tell you everything about my past, my present, and my future. Okay, what's the situation at hand, and what are the information that are required right now?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And I'm learning I'm learning each time how to deal with this. And it's funny, and it's so bizarre. I get situations, I'm like, well, this is a challenge situation, and I finally learn how to deal with that situation, and it doesn't happen again. It doesn't come back to me. And it's so bizarre. It happens like over, and then once I learn it, it doesn't happen again.
Okay, tick that box. Universe, what's next?
People keep doing the same thing over and over.
Exactly what it's like. It's like the universe saying, okay, you need to learn this lesson, deal with it, and then that's it. Once you learn it, they won't even challenge you anymore. Okay, I've dealt with that.
Bummer, now I know how to deal with that.
I know.
Man, can you give it to me again, please?
It's too easy now.
And instinct, actually, that's another one. I've learned how to go with my instinct. There's
That's
many
a powerful one.
There's many times that I've gone against my instinct, and then I regret it. And I don't anymore. I always go with what I feel.
So how do you do that?
I go with what I feel.
Okay.
If I'm feeling something, I go with it. For example, the markets cancelled yesterday because of the bad weather. I didn't have a feeling the day before that I should have cancelled. I was thinking about it, and I was like, no, everything is telling me to go ahead. And when the day came, I was still hopeful, and all of us, all the storeholders, all the ones that were here early enough, we all huddled in that gazebo back there with the rain, and we were just there hoping that it would get better. And all of a sudden it just started pouring down, and that was it, cancelled.
The beautiful thing about that was that it was at that stage because everybody together, like collaboratively, could make that decision. No, it's not.
Yeah.
And I mean, they could have called you yesterday, a day before, and said, "Ricky, I'm not up for it."
Yes.
Ricky,
I have had a few people do that, which is fine, and I understand. But actually having that experience, for anyone that's watching that was there yesterday, that was a really cool experience. Just having a few of the storeholders over there being hopeful that the weather would pass and that we could still go ahead. Unfortunately, the weather was too bad that we couldn't.
It shows also the strength of the community that you have created through these
and
markets.
I'm grateful for that experience.
Yeah.
Sucks that I had to cancel, but I'm grateful.
Definitely.
Yeah, but yeah,
no
instinct-
breakfast for me. Like, really.
Well, when's the next one? What date's the next one?
It's actually Easter Sunday, so it's the
Oh.
21st of April, Easter Sunday.
But before that, we have a live.
We have a live, which
I
is
just have to mention.
Yes, it's not
You
far
can-
Yeah.
away.
a live
It's 2 weeks.
is
2 weeks.
Saturday week, so not this
So not
Saturday,
even.
Saturday week. It's the 30th of March, and it's at Kill Park, Gosford.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you ever think do you run with themes each alive? Because this
No.
is the third
Yeah.
one now. Third one?
Yeah, the last one I ran with a little bit of a theme. This one not so much. The last one, but I'd like to touch base because I think it's really important. The last one that I wanted to touch base with was feminine energy and the divine energy of the feminine power. And I had all of my speakers last time be female, and even the singers and the buskers, because I really wanted to bring light into that, because I feel at the moment there's a lot of feminine energy coming through and females being empowered, and I'm excited for it, and I want to see more of it, and that was the theme. And I mean, I guess it will always be a theme of mine. It's always something that I want to encourage. But for this one, not so much of a theme, but that's something that I want to see going forward. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally does.
Okay.
And I was just thinking back to Last Alive, and just
You
like
were speaking.
I was speaking, and like all the stallholders around me were like really powerful women. And it was, like,
exactly,
It was
yeah.
really, really cool. And
Yeah.
actually at Alive, I connected with so many amazing women. It was
Yes.
like, oh yeah, I met you there, and yeah.
And there's so much of that happening on the Central Coast, and it's growing more and more and more and more and more. And it's just amazing.
Yeah, come along, I'm speaking again.
Yes, she is. Yes. She has a stall,
Yes, I do have a
and
stall.
she will be speaking.
Yes, I will be speaking again, yeah.
It'll be exciting.
Pretty cool. Yeah, it is, and I love it. It's such a beautiful energy there. Like exactly, I
Yeah,
just
such a
have to
unique
stress that
energy.
again
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's really inviting, and just being speaker and being stall holder, I get to speak to so many people, and for us, it's still in the flow what we will do exactly with the stall and with the speech. I'm really feeling into that as well. And in the stall last time, we were really promoting our gut health workshop, and it was interesting the people that came through that, how many are really interested in it. They are not yet plant-based whatsoever, and what their motivations are behind that. It's really, really interesting. So many people are new to it. Now I get to meet more and more people, like, yeah, some of them that I met on the first Alive Festival are now becoming friends as well. So it's really, it's a beautiful place. Other plant-based people or vegan people bringing their friends and showing them around, and it's a beautiful place to actually show others around as
Yeah.
well.
I think with that idea that you've got the Mystic Festival,
Mustard,
will have that connection to plant-based too,
Yeah.
because if you look at the magic of plants and what it can feed us and what we can give back.
yeah. That event, in regards to food, will be vegan. I'm not going to label it or advertise it so much as being a vegan festival, but for me, in regards to spirituality, I think being vegan is extremely important. But that's me personally.
Yeah.
Everyone
I
has
think
their
it
own.
resonates.
Yeah, and I think it's really important to have an event where all the food that's being served is plant-based on that specific one, just so that everyone can feel inclusive.
Yeah.
And then in regards to stalls, yeah, I'll be a little bit more flexible with that because, you know, there's
Even
different.
medicine plants,
Yeah,
whatever. Yeah,
yeah.
that's interesting. That's an interesting
Yeah.
combination.
Yeah.
Especially in that realm,
Yeah.
it is very interesting, and just
But I feel like with what people should be eating, it should be
Clean.
more mindful and clean. Actually, I think
Clean,
that's really important. I never
yeah.
thought about that until right now, but I think
it's-
maybe clean eating might
Well,
be
if you
very
have a
important.
clean eating, you have a clean soul.
Yes.
Yes.
Body, and you have a
Yeah.
vessel clean, like you can think clearer, you can have more purpose.
And it changed a lot. Like when my whole family, we transitioned pretty much together, and the rest of my family was back in Germany. At one stage, I had a chat to my mum, and she said, "Man, this food is doing something. It's not the other way around. It cleanses."
Yes.
That was really interesting, and that's it. There is a difference between clean eating and just being vegan.
Oh yeah,
So,
definitely.
and
definitely.
And I think that's the
Yeah.
interesting thing about that
Yeah.
event then as well. It's like because you clean out everything, you cleanse.
And what I believe I have around the way people are eating these days, it's suppressing their energy that they can be the true person they can be. So by eating plants and real foods, they can energize to be that powerful person.
Yeah, definitely.
Get in a
I'm
good
still
juice
working
in
on
there.
that.
Yeah.
I'm getting there. Yeah. But I still
But
have
how
my.
did you become vegan? What was it that triggered that change? It's a big shift.
I watched not even the whole movie. I watched the intro to the movie Earthlings.
Oh, sorry.
Just,
I watched the movie.
I watched the
think
movie
it's a
after,
common-
but I just watched the intro, just the intro, and that I didn't know what to do with myself. It wasn't.
Tears. I was full on in tears on my bed when I watched it.
So was I.
And it starts really confronting.
Yes, so I couldn't watch the movie until after I became vegan, so I was like, okay, let me watch this now. But the intro was enough for me to question everything, and then it took a few months to get there, and then I met two wonderful ladies at Johannesburg Beach Market, so Amanda and Jodie. I had a really good discussion with them. It was maybe the second market. We were just sitting at one of the benches there and we were just talking about it. And I was just like, it really sunk in, you know. And then I went to South Africa for a holiday and I just said, you know what, I'm going to South Africa. This will be my last 3 weeks. And when I come back, that's it.
Wow.
And that's what happened.
Wow.
And I haven't looked back ever since. And I've never had any, like, reason to go back to eating dairy or meat or anything.
What's
No
your
desire.
favorite food?
Favorite food? Japanese. Yeah.
Sushi kinda or
Everything.
everything?
I like bento boxes mostly. So you got a little bit of everything. Yeah. So a little bit of rice with teriyaki, tofu, sushi. That's awesome.
And where does that spiritual angle comes from for you? Is it from your family? Did you discover that?
I actually
on your
think so. I'm
journey?
learning a lot more about it now. It's a slow process for me. It's not. I mean, I've always had this spiritual side to me. Even as a teenager, I used to question things a lot. Like, "Ooh, what's going on? I don't understand this." And when I was a teenager, I had a lot of thoughts going through my head. I was like, "What is going on?" But then, when I became an adult, I thought that everything that I was going through as a teenager was just in my head. And it's only since coming to the Central Coast that I've reconnected back to that and said, no, that wasn't in my head. That was actually real. Those feelings are real. And
Another thing you had to unlearn, yeah.
yeah, exactly. And I've
Or relearn, actually.
yeah, relearn. That would be relearning. And the people that I've met on the Central Coast have just helped me to understand the spiritual side of things a lot more, and to be more intuitive and to believe in your guts and what's happening all around you. And there's so much to this world that we don't know and we don't say or see. And there's a stigma against it. And we need to start unveiling all this. We need to start getting rid of this stigma and saying, you know what, it's okay to think like this. It's okay to meditate and see where that takes you and feel what you feel and go with it. I'm being very vague right there, but...
Well, there's a collective consciousness in that then too, if you're talking about your community.
Yes, definitely. And slowly but surely I'm learning more and more about myself in regards to spirituality. So
I think it comes in by eating plants, like if you have a real food plant. I've found
That can definitely be
the
one
more
entry
that
way,
I've eaten just real clean foods, the more you become in tune to that awareness.
yes, definitely.
And that's, I don't know if that's resonated.
When did you move to the Central Coast?
5 years ago. Okay, so we moved,
Yeah, when did you move?
2.5.
2.5, yeah.
Yeah.
So 2.5?
Well, no, it feels like...
Look, feels like longer.
I think 2.5.
So 5.
Yeah.
Yeah,
From
so,
Sydney.
and it's funny. So you transitioned to plant-based 3 years ago. You moved here 5 years ago. I transitioned to plant-based 5 years ago, and I came here 2.5 years ago. So it's just
connections.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah. So And it didn't start straight away. You know what? I think you're right. I think when I started the markets and became vegan, the spiritual side of me became more prominent. There you go. And the people that I'm around now, my friends that I have right now, are so important, and they taught me so much, and I'm super grateful. And they are teaching me a lot at the moment. So, yeah.
So what are the 3 things you would say you're grateful for in your life?
Right now, I'm grateful for my husband Glenn. I'm grateful for our son Cody, and I'm grateful for the friends that I have right now. They are keeping me grounded. They are giving me the best advice that I can get. We are all going through change in one form or the other, and we are all going through it together. And we are all just teaching each other little bits and pieces, and that's awesome. Yeah. And I'm optimistic.
I like how you say that with a
I'm optimistic.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really grateful.
Oh, no.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
I love it. I was loving chatting to you. No, really, really cool. I love the work you're doing. And I love learning more about you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Because we usually just see each other on the market.
Yes.
Then we message a little bit, but we never really sat down.
Yes.
That didn't align. We tried.
We should.
Yeah.
I think that's another bit of a selfish thing I have for these meetings is to actually talk to people in our community.
Yeah, good.
Because you don't get these chances to sit and really get deep and talk about.
About a year ago, something came to my head, and I said, you know what would be a really good idea? A good idea if someone went out on the Central Coast and interviewed people.
When did you have this?
About a year ago.
Oh, might have resonated.
And
for me, it was really spontaneous.
No, I just had the thought, and I was like, oh, it'd be really good, and just go to all these different businesses and interview them. But I was like, no, that's not me.
Yeah, isn't that funny with the big magic?
Yeah.
How she says like sometimes we have an idea and then we don't have to take ownership. It's a cool idea, and then we can say, you know what, I love that idea. I'm not your person. Maybe have a chat to that person, and you just spiritually send it on.
That's so awesome that it was you, though. Couldn't be a better person.
Big magic. It's
amazing.
Sorry,
Big magic.
Okay, I haven't read that one.
Ideas being alive and how they come and visit.
Okay, I'll read that. Big magic.
Big magic, and how sometimes two people. So it's basically when you have an idea, you are basically invited to create that idea, and that idea might actually be sent off to a few people, and you might actually find exactly the same thing being created across the world. So there's one moment where she writes a book, and then she at one stage sits on this writer event next to another person, and they talk about the book that they are just writing, and it's in that detail. This exactly the same book that it's kind of freaking them out, but they are pretty spiritual. So they're like, okay, so we got the same intuition. Wow. And it was just about this idea wanted to be creative. It's not take ownership.
And that's this whole thing about being spiritual, this mystic markets and all that. That there's so much happening in the background that we are so unaware of. Messages coming to us, and we need to listen to those messages and go with it. If you think one day, maybe I should start making jewelry, go for it. Do it. Go and see what that's about. Play with that, because there's something there, and that's exactly what that is. There's these messages coming to us, and we need to go.
And sometimes it's just by starting to play with that you meet someone. It was not about like last year. I felt like really called to go to Ireland over like the winter solstice over there, summer solstice over here. And I felt really called to go there. At the end, I didn't even end up going to Ireland. I got the funds to go, everything. It was about being with my family and going to a really significant place back in Germany, and sitting in a women's circle for that winter solstice. And it was just like, whoa, I was just so guided just because I committed to that. So it was like, okay, you understand that? Go there. Okay, cool. Now I could start manifesting around it. It was never about me going to Ireland. And it's really interesting that at the beginning we have this intuition like this is where we are meant to go. But then universe is just taking us there. But it was important that we had that vision in the first place. So what you said, like playing with that. And it's like this conversation is so funny because on my way here, I recorded just a few things for myself because they just came into my mind, and it was like about creating a business, and that a business is basically a being. So we are creating a being because our business is always larger than ourselves, because there are other people benefiting from it. Ideally, maybe we even can employ people. So we have to trust it, and we will be looked after by that business being. So you will be looked after by whatever you are creating now, and the things, and you get new ideas, you get new inspirations. And as soon as we start taking action, cool, we have some new background music now. As soon as we start taking these actions, we can allow it to grow. But we have to start taking actions. We have to stop just thinking about it, because otherwise the vision is too big to take an action.
That's the thing. Sometimes these visions that you have do seem too big to, like the market, for example. I thought about it and I was like, I'll throw myself in there. Emailed the council. They told me what to do, and that was overwhelming at first. I did have a feeling of, no, I'm not going to do this. But then I was like, no, wait, stop. Let me actually read what's required and go through the criteria one step at a time. Take my time. There's no hurry from this time to start.
How long did it take you from getting that lace to running?
It took me maybe 6, 7, 8 months, something like that.
Yeah, sorry.
So I can't remember exactly. I know it started was meant to start on the first in November, but the first market was cancelled because of the weather. Yeah.
Universe gave you a bit more time.
That was an interesting experience. Yeah.
Oh, that's hard.
That was really hard.
Wow, that's really hard.
Yeah.
So you want to start something, you get everybody on the boat, and then you straight have to cancel.
Yeah,
I'm just thinking,
really
like,
hard.
whoa.
So the first
all
month,
the hopes.
Yeah. So
Wow.
I think it was around May,
Yeah.
maybe before that I decided to. The council actually replied, rather.
Yeah.
And I started to go ahead. So as soon as I decided to go ahead, I started a Facebook group, Facebook page. I started looking for store holders. I was emailing them, and I was saying, this is what I'm going to do. And I started getting contact straight away. Just going through Instagram, just starting, posting every now and then. And I was getting more and more people. And then one day I knew it was going to happen. I knew this was going to start in November, and I posted Minor Beach Markets in November. And probably if I go back and look at that post now, it's not viral. But at that time, for me, that was viral. I just went, what is going on? All these people interacting with this post, and I was just surprised. I had a meeting with the council the following week, and they said, we all saw that post. They said, it's crazy that people are interacting. And I was like, I know, I don't understand. I'm like, wow. So it was good that it was slow, because then I got people to talk about it.
Yeah.
And the first market was interesting because we were going to do like a little healing space just over there. And we had someone, her name is Louise. So
Yeah.
Louise,
She's over there.
yes, she was going, Louise was someone that started at the beginning. Louise was, she was going to sit and meditate. So we all got together, a group of us, the day before, and we just meditated just over there.
Wow.
The day before, and yes, there was weather forecast that it might be raining, but at that stage I was okay, and the meditation was amazing. It was an interesting meditation. You could just feel the energy that was happening, and we all felt really good about it. Yeah, we cancelled the next day. It sucked. It was a really big learning curve for me. It was what I was meant to do next. I basically stayed in bed all day.
Yeah, there's no point in getting up.
And that's okay.
I
It is
worked for
okay.
it so
And that's
long.
the thing. And it's okay to be like that. I mean, I was depressed
But
that day.
it's like
It's
end of
one day.
November. It's like
one
perfect
day.
pre-Christmas. It's like
But you know what
all
happened then?
aligned.
Then the very first market, which
Yeah.
was a month later, roughly,
Yeah.
it was the first one. It was December. It just,
Would have been
I could not believe it. I couldn't believe it.
Wow.
All the store holders were here, and I was like, okay, cool.
Sun was shining.
The sun was shining. It was perfect weather. It was December, and it was around about 10:30 in the morning, and then all of a sudden, all these people everywhere. And I was just looking around, and I was just gobsmacked. I did not expect that for the first one. So people that were at the very first market know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you. It was a good feeling.
I bet. And that I think the really cool thing is that you kept believing in it.
Yes.
Other people would have said, "Oh, it rained, so it wasn't meant to be."
You know,
But you're
I've had many moments that I was going to give up. The last being 6 months ago, I was going to give all of it up.
Thanks for not doing it.
Yeah, I got so overwhelmed. I had another market with bad weather, and I was dealing with some difficult situations in the background, and it's like, I'm not doing this anymore. I can't do this anymore. I can't deal with juggling home life, work, the markets. I said, I need to let go of something. I need to let go. And I spoke to my husband, I spoke to Glenn, and he was like, "Oh, you can't let go of it. I mean, you've done such a good job." And I'm like, I know, but I can't deal. I need to let go of
He's so
something.
supportive, by the way. If I can just do a quick call off for him. He's on every market. He's always there with
Yeah,
you.
he's really
It's
good.
incredible having a
he's
partner
really
like that on your side.
No, he's really good. So we spoke, and he gave me encouragement, and he helped to assist me even further with the market. So he does a few admin things for me, which has helped me heaps. Because the admin side of things was making it hard for me, because, you know, when do I have time to do this? You know, it's really hard. So, and he supports me to become self-employed one day. And he says, it's
He
okay.
sees that in you.
Yeah, he's like, don't worry, it's going to happen. And I support you, and that's all I needed. The moment I got his support, I'm good, and I'm into it. I'm like going to, I'm on the train again.
And
So-
I mean, you have so much support, like as a life. There are so many people always running around. And last time Emma took some beautiful photos as well.
Yes, exactly.
Because she just got an amazing camera. And she's pretty talented.
She
But there
is.
are like so many people who are helping. It's beautiful. So we are really excited to see you grow.
Can't wait to see you at Alive in a couple of weeks.
Yes.
So
One and
everyone
a half.
get down there.
Yeah, and I think, no, we are posting that today because we posted quite a few events yesterday, so we are posting that one today into the group as well, so everybody
Okay,
can
cool.
join. Please join also that event on Facebook because that helps you. So let's educate everybody how Facebook works. It really helps if you see an event, if you just join, if you say, yes, I'm going, yes, I'm interested. It helps the organizer to get a rough feel about how many people will come, but it also helps if you just say you're going, even though you maybe can't come.
Yeah.
It helps spread the message.
Yeah, even like if you have friends or family or whatever that organise events and they send you an invitation, just say you're interested.
Yes.
Because what it does, it goes out to their friends, and then they might be interested, and they might actually want to go, and that's how it works, and it ripples through.
And write a comment.
Yeah, comments are good.
And reviews.
Yeah.
Reviews are. I'm just writing reviews for everybody for everything that I had an experience with their service or whatever. It's just like leave a positive.
Yeah.
Feedback.
I need to do a better job of that.
appreciation.
I'll start doing that.
Yeah, I just started doing it like a month ago. Where I'm just like, okay, how does this work? Hang on, I have to start. If I
Yeah.
want to see more positive reviews, and I know how important it is, I'm just constantly now. I walk out of a restaurant, like on Friday, and I just leave a positive review on Google and on Facebook.
Because I think
if can.
people then know they're appreciated.
Yeah.
Like, we all want to hear appreciation.
And if you have anything
Yeah.
negative to say, email email the business directly.
Yes. Or get in touch. Call.
Yeah, because negative comments on social media ain't cool.
Yeah.
Unless you've got something constructive to say.
Yeah.
Email.
Yeah. Email or call.
Yeah, if there's nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Or if you see someone, just have a chat to them, like personally, because then they can rectify on the spot, and they can.
And they'll
they have
take
a
it more
change.
seriously as well.
They do.
Yeah, when you have negative comments, people they won't take it seriously because it's trolling.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good
Positive comments, likes. If you don't like it, unfollow. If you have something that you're interested in saying, you email that person directly.
one. Yeah.
You'll get more of a response,
And you will see change.
yes, and it's coming from a better place than hate, because that's not good.
Not cool.
From love only.
Yeah.
From the heart.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Ricky.
No, thank you.
Much busy schedule.
Yes.
You come
I know I had a day off today, so it's all good. It's all good.
worked out well.
Perfect. So
Yeah.
cool. Thank you to everybody who listened.
Thank you.
I will now run around and press stop again.
Yeah, so check out Ricky and come to the market, start your minor, a live festival, and go to the Handmade Festival.
Cool. Thank you.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.